because of the way I'd been, raised, because of some of the things they've told us about, you cannot question God. When you start asking this kind of questions, the next thing that the response most times is like you're backsliding. This lighting is saying no, but we are gonna do this. Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever had a time you had questions in your heart about God? Who he is? Where is he from? What does it look like? How does he take his decisions? How is he able to watch over everybody like the scripture says he does? How does he count his days? The scripture says 1,000 years is like a day before him. Like, what determines the kind of decisions he makes? Like, where did he get his knowledge from? Where did he get his wisdom from? The one we read in the scriptures. Like, who is God? And yeah, recently I started having these questions pop in my head. Like, questions about who God is, who is he? Like, is he a he? Is he actually a he? Is there a gender? Like, is there a gender attached to him? Is he a she? Why is he not a he? Why is he a he? Why are we not referring to God as a she? Like, different kinds of questions, guys. Like, different kinds. And I had a lot of questions. Sometimes I read the scripture and I'm like, why? Why did this happen? Why did God decide to do this? Sometimes I read stories in the scriptures of how God killed the enemies of the Israelites. And sometimes even how he killed the Israelites themselves. And I'm wondering why? Why? Like, yeah, I asked those questions. Why? Why did he kill them? The people that he killed, why? Did he kill them because they were not following him? Why is he killing other countries for the Israelites? How does he decide who to kill and who to leave alive? How does he decide? He says, Jacob I have loved, Esau I have hated. How does he make his decisions? I had these lots and lots of questions. And then I saw a post on WhatsApp. Somebody put on a status like, if your God claims to be so loving, why does he send people to hell? Why did he create hell? Why has he decided to, destroy the people that he himself created? And that came exactly when I was having those questions in my head about who God is, where is he from? Questions. I had questions about God. And I want to ask, have you also had questions about God? And this video is not to tell you I've gotten all the answers. It's just to tell you how I am navigating this period of questions in my head. And I had these questions, like I had them so bad. And at some point, because of the upbringing I had, that I don't know, like the way I was brought up in a Christian home actually. There's this kind of sanctity. There's this kind of reverence that comes around asking this kind of questions. There's this kind of mindset that comes with asking this kind of questions. When you start asking this kind of questions, the next thing that the response most times is like you're backsliding. You are denying God. You are not trusting. You are not believing. And at some point, I started asking myself, am I backsliding? Is it like I don't believe in God anymore? Is it like am I losing my faith? Am I losing my belief? Am I, like is something happening to my faith in God? And then I decided from the WhatsApp status of the person and also from the other questions I had in my heart, I decided to sit myself down and talk to myself. And the discussion I had with myself was that I can't run away from the questions that were coming to my head. I cannot sweep it under the carpet. I cannot say they don't exist. I cannot just, tell myself like, don't ask this question, just trust God. Just keep believing. These were questions regarding my belief in God. And I could not just, sweep it under the carpet and say, well, just believe what you've been told from the day you were born. And one of the things that came to mind was, imagine that I was born into a home that wasn't a Christian home. Would I be a Christian today? Like, will I have believed that there is a God? Is my being a Christian as a result of where I was brought up? Is me calling myself a Christian as a result of the family I was born into? Of course, I remember there was a particular day I said, Jesus, I surrender all, I give my all to you. But would that have happened if I was not born into a Christian home? And those were some of the questions I asked myself. I also asked myself questions like, okay, so there are a lot of, even in Christianity, there are a lot of doctrines. There are a lot of doctrines. So God, which one is the right one? I asked myself a lot of questions, and I know that the simple answer to this will have been go and search in the scriptures. But where do I search in the scriptures? How do I know which scripture will direct me to the correct doctrines to follow? Which scripture will direct me to, to know why God was killing people? Which scripture will direct me to, a lot of questions that I couldn't just, okay, do I go start from Genesis 1 and read? I just finished reading the Bible through. like, and these questions were coming so much that I had to ask myself the question, what was happening to me? Am I losing my faith? Do I want to stop being a Christian? So if I decide to go ahead and look for answers to all these questions, am I afraid of what I'll find out? I actually asked myself those questions, like, am I afraid of what I'll find out? Am I afraid that the answers will scare me? Or am I afraid of what the response will be? And then I told myself I could not run, like, I can't run away from this question, because the thing is, even if I decide to keep them under the carpet, if I decide to, just do the peripheral things I've been doing, like, okay, it's well, you've heard God speak to you in times past. There was a time you were not so sure if God existed, and He showed you He existed and all that. This question is not about is there a God. This question is about who is God? How does He make His decisions? What are the right ways to serve Him? What are the right doctrines? What is the right thing to do? Like, when I come into church, am I expected to just be, keep to my holy self? Not, when you're in the presence of God, you don't interact with other people. Like, what is the right thing to do when it comes to God? And this and lots more questions, like, all these questions, I'm just, saying it out as I'm remembering, like, asking the questions. And like I said, I told myself I cannot run away from asking these questions. I can't just act as if those questions never came to my mind. And then I decided, if you want to know a thing, what do? You make researches about that thing. If you are not sure about how to use your products, what you do is, look for the manual, read the manual. You don't know, you have questions about a thing, ask people that say they know the thing better. This is not me trying to refer to God as a thing. I'm just making an illustration. Like, if you feel like you lack knowledge about something, what's the next way to have more knowledge about that thing is to make research about that thing. So ask questions, read up, watch videos, and that is what I did. Like, if I have these questions about God, what is the way out? What am I supposed to do? Since I've decided not to sweep the questions under the carpet. And then I decided to start reading books, look for videos on YouTube. All I needed to do was just type in my YouTube search bar, who is God, and then I saw a lot of videos. Some I watched and I was like, what's this? Some I watched and I was like, yeah, this is good. And I actually got some really good resources on YouTube. I found a lot of resources. If I'm able to still go back to, look for those, maybe check my history or something, I'll put some of the links of the ones I really love in the description. But I, start, and this is not me telling you that this video is not about me telling you that I've gotten answers to all my questions. But one thing I'm doing is I'm going to make research. I'm going to keep searching. I'm going to keep asking questions. Sometimes I even ask God Himself. So in this situation, God, what am I like? I think I got to the point where I was just done with being a Christian based on what I've been told all the while. Because the person that told me, how am I sure the person was right? And I don't know why I got to that position. I don't know how I got to that point where I felt I needed to know more beyond what I've been told, beyond the things I've heard. I just needed to, dig further than I have ever dug. And it's my decision to research instead of allowing all those questions to draw me back is really helping, because I'm actually finding out some things I wouldn't have, imagined that I would. I'm actually getting some information that is helping me clarify some of the questions I have. And I still have other questions. I'm still searching. I'm still digging. And I'll keep digging, more and more, knowing, desiring to know more and more about who God is. And I don't think I'll ever get satisfied. Like, I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I'm like, okay, I know all of God. But I think I also am appreciating this point where I am, because it has poured me, it has motivated me to want to know more. Like, not just the fairy feral. That is, I think, if I'll even think further, I would think that this had been, this is something that had been in my heart, maybe not this much, for the past 1 year or thereabout, because I decided to do chronological Bible study as a result of, how did the events in the scripture happen? I want to know, such things like, how did the event happen, like, sequentially? That was why I decided to go, do the chronological Bible study that I did last year. And the fact that it's coming right now, these questions, I think it's a good one, because one good thing it has done for me is dig, make research, ask questions, look for resources of people that have, talked about this. And I think so far I'm loving it. It's broadening, it's helping me know God the more. It's helping me answer some of my questions. I still have questions. I'll keep asking. Some I know I may not get answers to, because at some point I felt like, am I trying to there's one Yoruba name that says Awa Maredi. Like, that's a name for God, like unsearchable, like you cannot search him. And at some point I was like, is it like you're trying to search God that they say is unsearchable? But no, this is just me. I don't know what to call it. I don't know if it's curiosity. I don't know if it's I don't know. But I'm just at that point where I'm asking lots of questions. Sometimes I ask God himself, this is my question about you. Direct me to resources that would, help me answer this question, or speak to me, talk to me, answer, just help me answer these questions, just strengthen my faith in you, strengthen my knowledge about you. And it's been great so far. And in case you also have such questions like, who is God? Why are bad things happening? Why does he allow, look for resources. It's looking for resources has helped me, is helping me. I think they might help you too. Thanks for watching. Until we see in the next video, have an amazing life. Bye.